Welcome back, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt, and I'm sure Byron York of the Washington Examiner, Fox News contributor extraordinaire, is also rooting for The Ohio State University on Saturday, so I will skip that part. Byron, I've known a lot of political consultants in my life, as have you, I imagine, right? We meet them in green rooms.
I believe I have, yes.
Okay. So I think two of the dumbest have surfaced this week. First of all, someone advised AOC to run a turkey giveaway that ran through ActBlue and alerted the donor that the money was going to AOC and was not tax deductible. How stupid was that?
Well, first of all, it was admirably honorable when you made the donation. It says this is not going to the turkey. This is going to ActBlue. So that's kind of honest there. But the whole idea was just kind of mind-bogglingly stupid, because if you are going to do something to actually help people around Thanksgiving time, then you should actually help people. If you're going to, buy them food, then buy them food and give it to them. Don't lie about it. So it made her look bad and stupid, which is
well.
Really
now I don't think she's dumb, and so on Fox earlier with John Roberts, I said I'm giving her grace. She's not that dumb. This was a consultant trick. Do you think that's possible, that she just signed off on something and didn't know that they were running it through the campaign coffers?
Well, she can't really come out and say, "Oh, my consultant tricked me." That doesn't look so good. It's possible, yes, it's possible that she just wasn't paying attention, and they said, "We're going to do this," and she said, "Great." But this is one of those buck stops here issues. I mean, she's the boss in this particular thing.
Then she better get out there and apologize and stop in a hurry, because it's bad even if you don't know it, but it's worse if you do.
It might be good to give a lot of turkeys away, too.
Yeah, it might be good to be out there from dawn till dusk with the turkeys. Yeah. Second dumb consultant move. The 6 Democrats, beginning with Elise Slotkin and, of course, Captain Mark Kelly, they made that video. There's a story there somewhere. Someone came up with that idea. Someone sold it to 6 Congress people, and nobody ever stopped to think whether it was a good idea. Do we know who was behind that yet?
No, we don't. And, the most amazing thing about that was that this was a claim, a campaign built on a claim that could not survive the first question asked. The first question asked being, well, has President Trump issued any illegal orders? And then they have to say, well, no, and the whole thing falls apart. So, I mean, this is not three-dimensional chess. This is just thinking, okay, what's the first thing we would be asked if we did this? And do we have an answer for that? And when they decided that they did not have an answer, that it would have to come up with something ridiculous like the Nuremberg trials or the movie A Few Good Men, then they should have just dumped the idea altogether.
Byron, in my line of work on the radio side, I get handed scripts all the time, and I have creative control. I can choose to read them or not read them. And more than once I've had to say, nah, I'm not going to read that. So they got handed a script, and they had to say, don't give up the ship, don't give up the ship. And someone had to explain it to them. And do you suppose there's one consultant to all 6 people? Or do you think one of the candidates or one of the incumbents got the idea and sold their friends on it?
Well, these are 6, separate office holders. Some, I guess, is that there are separate people involved in this. And did they all, the actual principals here, the members, talk to each other before doing this? I don't know. They only said like 6 or 8 words, you must refuse an illegal order. There may have been no real discussion between them about this.
Don't you think it's a fascinating story? I don't know that we'll ever find out. We've got a newsletter for every hour of the day in Washington, D.C., from Punchbowl to Axios to Semaphore. Would one of them come up with it's a Democratic story, so you and I aren't going to get it. Maybe you will. Maybe you have some friends on that. But somebody should be really in the corner with a dunce cap on. Does anyone come out of this looking good?
No, absolutely not. You would think that even biased media outlets asked this question that I mentioned earlier. Martha Raddatz asked this of Alyssa Slotkin
yes.
on ABC. All right, so it's the obvious first question that they couldn't answer. So I think there's a possibility, but I do think there's something that happens, which is, event A happens, and MAGA world or Republicans or the conservative world or somebody makes a really huge deal about it. Then there are many people in the press feel like they have to knock that down. They just have this instinctive desire to knock that down. So in this case, there's really no defense for what the people did, other than to say, well, it is true in the military that you're supposed to not not enact an illegal order. But there's no defense for making this video, at this time, no rationale, no illegal order to talk about. So I just don't feel like any people in the press are going to invest a lot of time in this, because it's been such a big deal on Fox News that they just feel like they would rather knock it down, or if not do that, ignore it altogether.
Martha McCullum had one of the 6 on, and if it was a fight, they'd have stopped it. It was just so brutal, because what order are you talking about? You can only say you can only filibuster for so long. Okay, second important question. I would now leave it alone if I were the Republicans. Would you proceed against Captain Kelly, who conceivably could be ordered to show up and announce himself? I would not touch it if I were the Republicans. What do you think?
I totally agree with you on this. I mean, this is a political fight, and Republicans have responded politically. It was a political attack, and that's where it should be. And the idea of applying some sort of military justice here, it just strikes me as overkill. This is a claim that Mark Kelly, who may or may not want to be president of the United States, made, and he's taken a lot of criticism for it, which is entirely appropriate, but just leave it at that.
Yeah, do not snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Byron York, thank you. Follow Byron at X, at Byron York. I'll be right back, America. Stay tuned.